Number 10. Mamadi Doumbouya. Mamadi Doumbouya is the president of Guinea. He has held the position since 2021. He is a military officer and rose to power on the back of a coup. No doubt, he is certainly wise in ensuring that he has adequate security so as not to suffer the same fate as his predecessor. He is protected by an elite squad of soldiers, all dressed in combat outfit and openly brandishing their Russian-made rifles. These men are handpicked from the finest battalions of the Guinean army, and they surround him completely when he steps out of his vehicles. He is driven around in a black Humvee, and the motorcade is 10 vehicles long. Number 9. William Ruto. William Ruto has been the president of Kenya since 2022. He inherited an impressive security detail from his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, who was known to be one of the best secured presidents in Africa. William Ruto's motorcade is probably the most elaborate, 15 motorbikes traveling in a V-shape formation and 12 SUVs shielding the president's car at all sides. His car is an armored Toyota Land Cruiser and has similarly powerful vehicles in his motorcade. He is protected on all sides when he is out of the vehicle. Number 8. Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame has been president since 2000. He was previously a military leader. He headed the Rwandan Patriotic Front, which was part of the civil war in the 90s, and which brought an end to the genocide in 1994. He has helped rebuild the country, its economy, government structures, and society. He is one of the most respected personalities in Africa, but that doesn't mean he should be carefree with his life. He is driven around in an armored Range Rover Sentinel, and there are matching vehicles in his motorcades, which can reach up to 12 vehicles. He has a small army always around him. They include bodyguards on foot and that surround him. And when he's driving, there are motorcycles in front of his motorcade. Number 7. Abdul Fattah el-Sisi. Abdul Fattah el-Sisi is the president of Egypt. He is one of the most protected presidents in Africa, and understandably so because he took power in a coup in 2013. He moved the democratically elected president, suspended the constitution, and installed himself as head of a new government. In order for the same thing not to happen to him, he has to be well prepared. He's driven around in a black Mercedes-Benz S600 limo, and the vehicle is shielded within a motorcade of some 12 vehicles. He is surrounded by at least 10 bodyguards with special training. 6. Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa is the president of South Africa, and as such, he is arguably the most important personality in Africa. His importance is anchored by the fact that South Africa is the most important economy and also the most important political zone on the continent. The full extent of President Cyril Ramaphosa's security detail has only recently come to light. This was due to well-reported international scandal that broke out in Poland, and which is suspected to have political undertones. The president's security details was refused permission and unload 12 containers containing weapons. These weapons and other security gadgets are thought to be for the protection of the president. They also refused the group from coming out of their plane, and the men were said to number dozens. To be fair, the visit was to meet with President Putin on a sensitive diplomatic mission, and it was made at a time of war. In other circumstances, he may not have needed that much security. Number 5. Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu became president of Nigeria in May 2023. He inherited a robust security structure, the State Security Service, which is the allied force whose duty is to ensure the president and his family, along with other top political office holders in the country. Of course, these structures have had to be beefed up in recent years. There was an attack of Eagles Square, endangering the life of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Furthermore, the country has been engaged in an ongoing insurgency that has seen multiple military installations attacked, including the presidential villa itself. As a result, the president is surrounded at all times by at least 12 black suited men of the SSS and the accompanies car and this person. The car itself is a Mercedes-Benz S600. It has 2 engines and thick armor to withstand gunfire and even bombs. This car is shielded by a motorcade of 8 vehicles, and depending where it's going, you can even double its security details. Number 4. Emerson Mnangagwa. Emerson Mnangagwa came to power through a coup, which explains why it has to be heavily guarded to prevent the same thing from happening to him. To be fair, the coup was widely popular as it removed Robert Mugabe, who had stayed in power for 30 years. Nevertheless, he still has to be extra careful because some political opponents may favor force as an option. Emerson Mnangagwa thrust them by utilizing heavy security whenever he makes public appearances. His bodyguards number around 50 and are all dressed in black suits and carrying matching briefcases suspected to contain automatic firearms. These bodyguards completely surround him when he steps out of his vehicle, and the vehicle itself is a heavy armored Mercedes S-Class, which is the standard of world leaders. Emerson Mnangagwa can be forgiven for his robust security. He survived the bombs incident in 2018. King Muhammad of Morocco. The King of Morocco is another absolute monarch. He is one of the very few rulers who hold all the power. It is certainly wise for him to make adequate provisions for his protection. There are many misguided people who may want to take it upon themselves to enforce political change. The king is mostly driven in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which is the standard of world leaders, as it is armored and comes fitted with 2 engines as well as a couched supplies of weapons for self-defense. The vehicle never travels alone. It is driven in a motorcade that includes an armored Range Rover and MVs bringing up the rear. This can be described as a small army. It has soldiers, weapon experts, communication experts, and a medical unit. Two, Paul Biya. Having spent around 40 years in office, Paul Biya of Cameroon is slightly paranoid that someone is eager to see him out of office, through bloodshed if necessary. He is one of Africa's most protected presidents, moving about with a convoy of nearly 20 vehicles. In a recent celebration in France to mark his longevity on the throne, Paul Biya was seen completely surrounded by 30 men. The protection was total, to the point that it became difficult for photographers just to get pictures of him. These men are almost completely surrounded his official vehicles as it approached the venue. The vehicle itself was an armored limousine, which makes it easier, seem unnecessary, so that to be guarded. The expenditure available to Paul Biya on his personal protection seems unlimited because he is virtually an absolute monarch, and as such he is not answerable to anyone. Number 1. Alassane Ouattara. Alassane Ouattara is widely acknowledged to be the most heavy guarded president in Africa, and he even gets a mention on the world list. They understandably so, because he arrived to power on the back of a conflict. There are still many who insist that he upset the position with the help of France. He arrives international summits in a black Mercedes S-Class, which is armored and fitted with 2 engines. He never travels alone. His motorcade can reach up to 20 vehicles, including buses, vans, MVs, and Range Rovers. The true strength of this security detail has not been revealed. In a video, the buses were not open, but it's assumed that they were filled with soldiers who were on standby. His bodyguards number 12, and they not only keep him safe, they also keep onlookers at a good distance. As you have seen, it becomes clear that presidents of volatile countries are more inclined to spend the huge amounts they spend on their personal details. One thing, they need to be able to justify the expenditure, and they can do so when they are proven threats. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. As usual, we shall see in another video. Ciao, ciao.